When did you realize your parents shouldn't have had kids? I was 9 when my mom left me at Walmart. Not by accident. She literally told me to sit on the bench by the entrance and wait while she went to get stuff from her car. I waited 3 hours. A store worker named Beth found me there when the sun was going down. She had this worried look and asked where my parents were. I told her my mom said she'd be right back. Beth called security, then the cops. My mom showed up 20 minutes after the police arrived. No panic, no tears, just annoyed that I made a scene. She told the officers she forgot I was there because she had errands to run. Like I was a grocery bag she left behind. The cop looked at her weird and asked how you forget your kid. Mom just shrugged and said, "Kids are supposed to stay where you put them." That wasn't even the worst part. 2 weeks later, she did it again at the mall. This time, I waited 4 hours until mall security found me asleep on a food court chair. When Mom finally came back, she was carrying shopping bags from stores that weren't even in that mall. She'd literally gone somewhere else entirely. The security guy was pissed. He asked if this happened before, and I told him about Walmart. His face went red, and he made my mom sit there while he called someone. I don't know who, but afterward, Mom was really quiet on the drive home. At home, Dad was watching TV like nothing happened. When I told him what happened, he just said, "Your mother's got a lot on her mind." Like that explained leaving your kid places. The third time, I was ready. We went to Target, and Mom pulled the same move. But this time, I followed her to the parking lot and watched her drive away. I went back inside and found the customer service desk myself. The lady there was super nice. Her name was Carol, and she gave me a juice box while we waited. When Mom came back 2 hours later, Carol wasn't having it. She asked Mom what kind of emergency keeps happening that makes her forget her child. Mom couldn't answer because there was no emergency. She was just selfish. Carol wrote down Mom's license plate and told her if this happened again, she'd call child services. Mom got all defensive and said Carol had no right to threaten her. Carol just stared at her and said, "Leaving children places isn't parenting, it's abandonment." That night, I heard my parents fighting. Dad was mad because people were starting to notice. Not because I kept getting left behind, but because it was embarrassing for him. The leaving stopped after that, but other stuff didn't. Like how they'd both forget to pick me up from school, and I'd wait until the janitor asked if someone was coming. Or how they'd go out to dinner and just assume I'd figure out food for myself. By 12, I was making my own doctor appointments because they'd forget those too. I learned to forge their signatures for permission slips and parent conferences. Teachers started giving me weird looks when I showed up to things alone. The worst was when I got really sick with a fever and threw up all night. I kept trying to wake them up, but Dad said I was being dramatic. In the morning, Mom found me passed out on the bathroom floor and finally took me to the hospital. The doctor said I was severely dehydrated and could have died. Mom cried in the hospital room and said she didn't know it was that serious. But the thing is, she never checked. I was 9 when my mom left me at Walmart. And no, not by accident. She looked me dead in the eye, told me to sit on the bench by the entrance, and said, "Wait right here. I'll be back in a minute." Then she turned and walked away. I remember thinking she'd forgotten something important. Her purse, maybe, or groceries in the car. I watched her disappear through the automatic doors, her sandals slapping softly on the floor, her hair bouncing like she didn't have a care in the world. A minute turned into an hour. The crowd changed faces 100 times, the sky outside shifting from gold to gray. Every time the door opened, I lifted my head, expecting her smile, her keys jingling, her voice saying, "See? I told you I'd be right back." But she never came. By the time the sun started dipping, the bench felt like part of me. My legs were stiff, my hands cold. That's when a Walmart employee, her name tag said Beth, stopped and crouched beside me. She had kind eyes and a soft voice. "Sweetheart, are you waiting for someone?" I nodded. "My mom. She said she'd be right back." Beth frowned. "How long ago?" I shrugged. "A while." She took a deep breath, then led me to the customer service desk and gave me a tiny cup of water. When I realized the police were there, my stomach twisted. I didn't know what I'd done wrong, but my mom always said getting cops involved meant you messed up somehow. 20 minutes later, she showed up. No panic, no tears, just annoyance. She looked like someone had interrupted her manicure. "Oh, for heaven's sake," she sighed, walking up to the officers. "I just forgot." "I had errands. Forgot?" The officer asked, eyebrows raised. She shrugged, her tone flat. Kids are supposed to stay where you put them. They let her take me home, but the look Beth gave her stayed burned in my head, like she knew something I didn't. 2 weeks later, it happened again. This time at the mall, I sat on a bench by the fountain and watched families walk past holding hands. Little kids licking ice cream cones, parents laughing. I waited 4 hours before security found me asleep in a food court chair. When Mom came back, she was carrying shopping bags, not even from the same mall. She'd gone somewhere else entirely. The guard's voice was sharp. "Ma'am, this child's been here alone for hours." Mom rolled her eyes. "He exaggerates. I wasn't gone that long." When I told him about the Walmart incident, his face went red. "This isn't something that just happens, lady. You leave a child once, it's a mistake. Twice? It's a pattern." He took her license plate and said if it happened again, he'd report her. That night, she was quiet. Dad didn't ask much, just grunted when she told him the story. "You're making us look bad," was all he said. Not, "Are you okay?" Not, "Why would you do that?" Just embarrassment. The third time, I was ready. We were at Target, and she pulled the same trick. "Stay here. I'll be right back." I watched her walk out to the parking lot, slide into the car, and drive away. I waited 10 minutes, then found the customer service counter myself. The woman there, Carol, gave me a juice box and a granola bar while we waited. 2 hours later, Mom came back with that same irritated face, like I was the inconvenience. Carol didn't smile. She looked right at my mom and said, "Leaving children places isn't parenting. It's abandonment." Mom's face went pale. She tried to argue, but Carol just crossed her arms and said if it happened again, she'd call child services. That night, my parents fought. Loud, angry. But not about me. About their image. "People are talking," Dad hissed. "You're making us look unfit." The next morning, no one mentioned it. No apology, no hug, no acknowledgement. But after that, she stopped leaving me places. Instead, they just forgot me in other ways. They'd forget to pick me up from school. I'd sit on the curb until sunset, while everyone else's parents came and went. Sometimes the janitor would come out, broom in hand, and ask gently, "Hey kid, you got someone coming for you." I'd just nod and say, "Yeah, they're on their way." They'd go out to dinner without me. I'd come downstairs to an empty house, the smell of takeout still in the air. I'd heat up ramen, sometimes just plain bread with butter, pretending I wasn't hungry. When I got sick, I stopped telling them. Once I had a fever so high I couldn't stand. I tried to wake Dad up, shaking his shoulder, but he muttered, "Go back to bed." "You're fine." I wasn't fine. I remember the bathroom tiles cold against my face as I threw up over and over, whispering, "Please wake up," to no one. In the morning, Mom found me collapsed on the floor, barely conscious. The doctor said I was severely dehydrated. Another hour or two, and it could have been fatal. Mom cried in the hospital, said she didn't know it was that serious. But that's the thing. She never checked. She didn't want to know. After that, I stopped expecting anything. I learned to sign my own permission slips, make my own lunches, even schedule my own appointments. Teachers started to notice. One asked once, "Do your parents ever come to conferences?" I smiled and said, "They're busy." That was my answer for everything. I used to think parents were supposed to love you no matter what. That it was automatic, like breathing. But mine treated love like a chore they kept forgetting to do. When people ask now if I ever forgave them, I don't know what to say. You can't forgive someone for being something they never were. They shouldn't have had kids, not because they were cruel or violent, but because they didn't care enough to be either. They just didn't see me. And honestly, sometimes being invisible hurts more than being hated. Story 2, she said. "If you don't like me going to clubs with my single friends, you're controlling." I said, "You're right. I'm sorry." Then I joined a dating app using our couple's photos with her face cropped out. When her friends saw my profile and told her, she suddenly understood boundaries. I, 29 male, had been with Kiara, 27 for 3 years, living together for 1. The clubbing thing started about 6 months ago when her friend Destiny got divorced. Suddenly, it was girls' nights every Friday and Saturday. Not dinner and drinks. I'm talking leaving at 10 p.m., coming home at 4 a.m., dress code basically nothing. Location, whatever club had ladies' night. The first few times fine. Support your friend through divorce. but it became every single weekend. And the stories got weird. Some guy bought us a table. This promoter gave us VIP access. You should see how jealous other girls get when we walk past the line. Then I saw Belle's Instagram story. My girlfriend grinding on some dude. Not like accidental club proximity. Full contact sport grinding, I brought it up calmly. Hey, say Brielle's story that made me uncomfortable. Tiara's response. Are you seriously stalking my friend's socials? That's creepy and it's just dancing. Stop being insecure. I'm not comfortable with you grinding on random dudes. It doesn't mean anything. God, you're so controlling. Destiny's ex was like this, and look how that turned out. He cheated on her with his coworker because he was controlling and pushed her away. That's not how that worked, but okay. The next weekend, she was getting ready again. Dress. That was more suggestion than clothing. Maybe I could come with you guys sometime. She laughed. It's girls' night. The whole point is no boyfriends. Besides, you hate clubs. I don't hate them. If you don't like me going to clubs with my single friends, you're controlling. Destiny says this is classic toxic masculinity. You either trust me or you don't. I looked at her for a long moment. You're right. I'm sorry. She smiled, kissed my cheek. See? Growth. Jocelyn's picking me up in 20. After she left, I sat there thinking trust, huh? Boundaries work both ways, right? I downloaded Hinge. Now, before everyone jumps on me, I wasn't planning to cheat. I wanted to make a point. A very specific point. I used our couple's photos. All of them. Our trip to the beach. Us at her sister's wedding. That cute one from the pumpkin patch. I just cropped her out. Bio 29, marketing manager. Looking for someone who appreciates boundaries and communication. Love trying new restaurants, hiking, and quiet nights in. No drama, no games. Within an hour, I had 12 likes. Saturday night, Kiara gone again. I'm swiping through Hinge, and then I see her. Jocelyn. One of Kiara's single friends. The one who's always talking about hot girl summer, and men ain't. She matched with me immediately. Holden GTF are you doing on here? Oh, hey Jocelyn. Just meeting new people. Tiara says I need to be less controlling and more trusting, so I'm working on myself. Does she know you're on a dating app? Does she tell me everything that happens at the club? Message seen. No response. Minutes later, my phone explodes. Tiara calling. What the hell are you doing on Hinge? Having personal growth, expanding my social circle. You're on a dating app. You're grinding on strangers in clubs. That's different. How it just is. I'm with my friends. You're literally trying to date other people. I'm literally sitting on our couch watching Netflix. You're the one out right now. Where are you, by the way? That's not delete it now. Delete what? My personal social media. That sounds pretty controlling, Tiara. She hung up. Came home at 1 a.m. instead of 4. Silent treatment until morning. Sunday morning, she's sitting at the kitchen table with her phone out like she's prepared for war. We need to talk about boundaries. Great. I agree. You crossed a line. Which one? The one where I'm supposed to be okay with you grinding on strangers, or the one where I'm not allowed to have my own social life? Being on a dating app while in a relationship is cheating, but grinding on random men isn't. It's just dancing, and Hinge is just an app. She showed me her phone, screenshots from Jocelyn, Destiny, and Belle. They'd all seen my profile. You used our photos from our trips, my face, my photos, my memories too. You're being petty. I'm being equitable. You want to act single on weekends? Cool. So will I update one. And so Kiara decided to call my bluff. Instead of, having an adult conversation about boundaries, she went nuclear. She made her own dating profile, but not just any profile. She used photos of us too, but kept herself in them and blurred my face out. Bio. Getting over a controlling ex. Looking for a real man who's secure enough to let me be myself. Her friend screenshotted it and sent it to me. They thought it was hilarious. Yes, queen. Show him. Cool. Game on. I matched with 3 of her coworkers, not on purpose. They came up, recognized me from her Instagram, and swiped right out of curiosity. Rachel from her accounting department. Holden, are you and Tiara broken up? Me taking a break. She needs space to explore her independence. OMG, she was just talking about your anniversary trip next month. Yeah, might have to cancel that. Word spread through her office like wildfire. Suddenly, Kiara's getting questions at work. Are you okay? I saw Holden on Hinge, so sorry. Men are trash. She came home furious Tuesday night. You're telling people we're broken up? I said we're taking a break. Isn't that what acting single at clubs every weekend is? I'm not acting single. I'm just having fun with friends, and I'm just chatting with new people on an app. You matched with my coworkers. You mean like how you let random men buy you drinks every weekend? She grabbed her phone. Fine. You want to play this game? She invited her friends over. Destiny, Belle, Jocelyn, and 2 others I'd never met. Tamara and Elise. They sat in our living room like some kind of intervention tribunal. Destiny started. Holden, we're concerned about your toxic behavior. Which behavior specifically? This manipulative dating app stunt? As opposed to Kiara grinding on strangers? Belle jumped in. It's dancing at a club. It's what people do. And dating apps are for meeting people. It's what they're for. Tamara, who I'd literally never met before. You're gaslighting her. I'm how? By making her feel guilty for having a social life. She can have whatever social life she wants. So can I? Jocelyn pulled out her phone. Look, if you delete your profile right now, we'll make sure Kiara doesn't cross any lines at the club. You'll make sure. So you're admitting lines exist that could be crossed. Silence. Kiara stood up. You know what? Keep your profile. I don't care, but I'm changing mine. She updated it that night. New bio. In an open relationship, my boyfriend thinks he's making a point, but joke's on him. HMU if you can handle a real woman. The thing is, I'd been getting actual matches. Not trying to, but getting them. One was particularly interesting. A woman named Jordan who worked at a competing marketing firm. Jordan, your girlfriend sounds exhausting. Me currently deciding if she still is my girlfriend. Jordan, if you ever make that decision, I know a great coffee place. I didn't respond further, but I didn't unmatch either. Thursday, Kiara's getting ready for ladies' night again, but this time she's on her phone frantically texting. What's wrong? Destiny's boyfriend saw her Tinder profile. Destiny has a boyfriend? Yeah, for like 2 months. And she's on Tinder. She was just looking to see who's out there. He's being totally unreasonable. The lack of self-awareness was stunning. So is girls' night canceled? No. She needs us now more than ever. Toxic men trying to control women's bodies and choices. She left at 10 p.m. as usual. I matched with her yoga instructor. Update 2. Friday night got interesting. So, Kiara went out as usual. But this time, Destiny was single again. Shocker. And ready to rage. According to Kiara's texts, they were going hard tonight. Around midnight, I get a DM on Instagram from a guy named Trent. Yo, is this your girl? Video attached. Tiara doing body shots off some shirtless dude at the club. Not anymore, I replied. Here's the thing. I wasn't even mad. I was relieved. Like, when you finally accept that expired milk is indeed expired, and you can throw it out. I screenshotted everything. Then I did something petty. I updated my Hinge profile with a new photo. One from earlier that day at the gym. Caption. Single and ready to mingle. X thought boundaries were controlling. I thought body shots with strangers were cheating. Weird how perspectives differ. Within minutes, Jordan messaged. So you made that decision? Apparently, it was made for me. Coffee tomorrow, 2 p.m. Absolutely. Tiara came home at 5:12 a.m. Not drunk, but riding that post-club adrenaline high. Crazy night. Destiny hooked up with this promoter who might get us into I showed her my phone. The video. Her face went through about 6 different emotions. That's not what it looks like. It looks like you're licking tequila off a stranger's abs. It was a dare. The girls dared me. It meant nothing. Cool. Then you won't mind that I have a coffee date tomorrow. A what date? Coffee tomorrow. 2 p.m. You can't go on a date. We're together, are we? Because you're doing body shots off strangers. That's different. It was a joke, a game. And dating apps are games too, right? That's what you said when you made your profile. She started crying, but not sad crying, angry crying. You're doing this to punish me. I'm doing this because you've shown me repeatedly that you want to be single on weekends. I'm just making it full-time. I don't want to be single. I just want to have fun with my friends. And now you can every night from your own place. That stopped her cold. My own place? Yeah, we're done. I'll give you 30 days to find somewhere else. You can't kick me out. I live here. You're not on the lease. You pay me rent month to month. Legally, you're my tenant. 30 days notice. She went ballistic. Called Destiny. Belle Jocelyn. Had them all on speaker doing a group call meltdown. He's evicting me. That's illegal. It wasn't. Call the cops. For what? He can't do this. I could. Saturday morning, she was still in bed when I left for coffee with Jordan. I left a formal 30-day notice on the kitchen counter. Had it notarized and everything. Coffee with Jordan was nice, really nice. She was funny, direct, had her life together. We talked for 3 hours. So, your ex really thought grinding on strangers was fine, but dating apps were cheating. The cognitive dissonance was impressive. My ex thought watching porn was cheating, but sliding into Instagram models' DMs was networking. We laughed about it, made plans for dinner Wednesday. When I got home, Kiara had printed out tenant rights from some random website. You have to give me 60 days. That's for year-long leases. You're month-to-month 30 days. Where am I supposed to go? Destiny single now. You can be roommates. Her place is a studio. Sounds cozy. Sunday, she tried a different approach. Full makeup, sundress, made my favorite breakfast. Baby, we can work this out. I'll stop going to clubs. You shouldn't have to change who you are for me. That would be controlling. Why? I want to change. I see now that I was wrong. What specifically were you wrong about? I should have included you more. That's it. Not the grinding, not the body shots, not calling me controlling for having boundaries. Those two, all of it. I'm sorry. Cool. Still have coffee plans Wednesday, and you still need to move out. The entitlement started ramping up Monday. She group texted our mutual friends that I was financially abusing her by making her homeless. Left out the body shots part naturally. Our friend Mike texted me, "Bro, Kiara says you're kicking her out for going to girls' nights." I sent him the video. "Oh yeah, nah, you're good, man." Tuesday. I came home to find she'd changed her relationship status on Facebook to "It's complicated" with a long post about toxic masculinity and men who can't handle strong, independent women. I commented with the body shot video. She deleted the post within 5 minutes. Update 3. So Kiara refused to look for apartments. She was convinced to my senses. And this was all a rough patch. Instead, she doubled down on the entitlement. Thursday, she invited her mom over without telling me. I came home to Gloria sitting on my couch looking disappointed. Holden. Kiara tells me you're having issues. Gloria, did she tell you about the body shots? The what? I showed her the video. Gloria's face was magnificent. Went from righteous mother bear to horrified disappointment. Tiara Marie. Mom, it was just you're doing this and mad at him. Plot twist I didn't see coming. Gloria turned to me. I'll help her pack. But Kiara wasn't done. Friday afternoon while I was at work, she did something special. She threw a goodbye party at my apartment, invited 20 people, posted it on her Instagram story. Last party in this prison. My neighbor texted me videos. Music blasting. People on my balcony. Someone definitely smoking inside. I called the police for a noise complaint. Didn't mention I lived there. Cops showed up. Tiara tried to explain it was her apartment, but her name wasn't on the lease she couldn't produce. Party got shut down. 3 people got cited for public intoxication. I came home to a disaster. Bottles everywhere. Burn mark on my coffee table. Someone had thrown up in my bathroom. I took photos of everything. Then texted Kiara. She was at Destiny's. You have 48 hours to return the apartment to its original condition where I'm deducting cleaning and damages from your security deposit. I didn't pay a security deposit. The $500 you gave me when you moved in, that was a deposit. You said that was for groceries. I said it was for moving costs. I have the Venmo receipt. She came over Saturday with Destiny, Belle, and Jocelyn to clean. They were pissed, not at the mess, at me for making a big deal about nothing. While they cleaned, I went on my 3rd date with Jordan. We went hiking. She mentioned she'd been apartment hunting. Found this amazing 2-bedroom move-in ready next month. That's awesome. Where? She told me the complex. It was the same building Destiny lived in. The universe has a sense of humor. Sunday was eviction deadline day. Kiara had done nothing to pack. She was sitting on the couch in my old college hoodie eating cereal. I'm not leaving. Okay. I started moving her stuff to the curb, physically carrying boxes of her things outside. What are you doing? You said you're not leaving. So, your stuff that's illegal. Actually, after 30 days notice, if a tenant refuses to vacate, their belongings can be removed. I Googled it. She called Destiny. He's throwing my stuff on the street. Destiny showed up with her new boyfriend, the promoter from the club. Dude looked at me, looked at the situation and said, "Babe, maybe we should help her move instead." Even he got it. They spent 3 hours loading Destiny's car. Tiara cried the whole time. Not sad tears, angry, entitled tears. The kind when someone's mad that consequences exist. You're going to regret this. Doubt it. I was the best thing that ever happened to you. You licked tequila off a stranger. It was a dare. The promoter guy chimed in. Wait, you did body shots at the club? That's wild. I was there that night. Destiny glared at him, not helping Trey. As they drove away, Kiara yelled out the window, "Jordan's using you for a rebound. Cool. Still better than being used as an ATM for weekend clubbing." Monday, she started the smear campaign, posted on every social media platform about her narcissist ex who couldn't handle a strong woman and tried to control her with financial abuse. Nobody bought it. Know why? Because Jocelyn, sweet gossip-loving Jocelyn, had already told everyone about the dating app war. It was apparently the most entertaining drama in their friend group all year. Also, that video of the body shots had somehow made its way around. Trent, the guy who sent it to me, he was friends with half the city apparently. Tuesday, Kiara's dad called me. "Holden, what's this about body shots?" "Sir, did Gloria not tell you?" "Tell me what she just said." Kiara was being an idiot and needed to grow up. I sent him the video. Long pause. "You need any help changing those locks?" "Already done, but thank you." "Good man, sorry about all this." Wednesday, Jordan and I were at dinner when she started laughing at her phone. "What's funny?" "My friend just matched with your ex on Bumble. Look at this bio. New bio. Recently single, after escaping a toxic relationship. Looking for a real man who understands that dancing is just dancing, and trust means freedom. No insecure boys." "She seems stable," Jordan said. "Should I warn my friend?" "Nah, let him find out naturally." Thursday, the final pettiness. Kiara had forgotten she was logged into my Netflix. I could see she was watching How to Get Away with Murder at Destiny's. I changed the password. Got a text immediately. "Seriously, you wanted independence. Netflix is $15.99 a month. You're so petty. You're so single." Final update. So, a month later, here's where everyone ended up. Kiara lasted exactly 1 week at Destiny's studio before they had a massive fight. Apparently, Destiny's promoter boyfriend Trey was there constantly, and Kiara felt uncomfortable with him around. The same Tiara who thought grinding on strangers was just dancing suddenly had boundaries when it was her friend's boyfriend, walking around shirtless. She moved back with her parents. Gloria makes her pay rent. But here's where the entitlement reached its peak. 3 weeks after moving out, she showed up at my door at 11 p.m. in that dress, the one she wore to clubs. "I miss you. Cool, can we talk?" "We're talking inside." "Nope." She actually tried to push past me. I just stepped back and closed the door. She stood outside knocking for 20 minutes. I know Jordan's not there. Her car isn't here. She took an Uber. We're having wine night. That was a lie. Jordan was at her place, but Kiara didn't need to know that. "You replaced me that fast. You replace me every weekend at the club." Just returning the favor, she left a note under my door. "You'll never find anyone who loves you like I did." I texted her. That's the point. The friend group imploded. Destiny and Belle had a falling out because Belle hooked up with Trey after he and Destiny broke up. Lasted 3 weeks. Shocker. Jocelyn started dating one of my matches from Hinge, who unmatched me when he found out I was just making a point. No hard feelings. Dude seems nice. Tamar and Elise, the 2 friends I'd never met. Turns out they weren't even friends. They were girls from the club that Kiara had met twice. She brought strangers to confront me in my own apartment. The best update. Kiara tried to get back on the dating apps for real this time. But remember all those coworkers who saw my profile? They told everyone at her office about the whole drama. She became the office cautionary tale about work-life boundaries. She also got written up at work for excessive social media use after HR found her Instagram stories from the club tagged during a sick day. Last week, I ran into her at a grocery store. She was with Gloria, who waved at me enthusiastically. Kiara tried to pretend she didn't see me. Gloria loudly said, "Oh, Holden, how's Jordan?" "Tiara, look. It's Holden." Tiara mumbled something about checking the car and practically ran to the parking lot. Gloria winked at me. She's in therapy now, finally admitting she has accountability issues. Good for her. You know, I always liked you. You never let her get away with her nonsense. As for me and Jordan, we're good. Really good. She has this wild concept of going out together on weekends. Revolutionary, I know. She also has healthy boundaries. Doesn't need to grind on strangers for validation. Thinks couples should, act like couples. My favorite part, when her friends invite her to girls' night. She says, "Sure, Holden. You and the guys should do something too, like a normal person." Last thing, Tiara's still using dating apps. Her new bio, looking for someone mature who understands that relationships require trust and freedom, Must be okay with girls' nights. If you're controlling, swipe left. Jordan's friend matched with her just to see. First message from Tiara. Do you go to clubs? It's important that my partner supports my social life. He unmatched immediately. Oh, and that video of the body shots, it became legendary in our extended friend group. Someone made it into a GIF. It's now the standard response whenever anyone says it doesn't mean anything in the group chat. Kiara, if you're reading this, and I know you are, Jocelyn told me you still check my socials. Grinding on strangers means something. Body shots mean something. Boundaries mean something. And controlling, that word doesn't mean what you think it means. P.S. Destiny's pregnant with Trey's kid. They've known each other 6 weeks. The drama continues. Just not my circus anymore.